Okay, just checking if you can all hear me and see me. All good? Okay, great. Rightio. Well, thank you all for being here today. We'll start, today we're going to do a little bit of loving kindness meditation at the beginning of our practice. And then we'll do a nice sort of loving asana today. So we might start off in child's pose. So if you have a bolster, you can actually use that in your child pose, or you can just go into child's pose. So taking your feet nice and wide and just taking your hands forward and bringing your head down towards the mat. Just relaxing into that position as we do our meditation. Just getting nice and comfortable in that position. Taking some nice deep breaths and tuning into your energy. And taking the next hour for yourself for some self-love and self-care. So you can actually become healthier and happier, more relaxed person through yoga. And the true beauty comes from within, and sometimes it's just a simple meditation practice that might be all you need to let the light shine through. So coming into your child's pose, relaxing into your body and relaxing through your body in that pose. If it's uncomfortable in child's pose on your knees, you can always lay on your back and hug your knees into your chest. Let your breath relax you, but let it come and go of its own free will. And soften your scalp and your face, your forehead and temples, your eyelids, your eyes. Let your eyes sink deep into their sockets, relaxing your jaw, and let your chin move towards your chest, softening your cheeks. Let your lips part a little and soften around your mouth. Let your tongue rest comfortably inside your mouth. And imagine that the roof of your mouth is expanding. Swallow and relax your throat and neck. Let the weight of your head drop down into the support underneath. Let the relaxation flow down through your shoulders, right down deep inside your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and out, and sigh the breath out through your mouth. Softening more in your shoulders and softening into the chest. The relaxation flows from your shoulders now down to your arms, into your hands and your fingers. Feel your whole body releasing into the floor, giving into the rest. Be aware of your back. Feel it being drawn down towards the floor as you allow the muscles to sink down. As your breath goes out, keep sinking your back down into the floor. And now with each out breath, keep softening into your abdomen and your chest. Be aware of your legs and feel the large muscles of your thighs becoming heavy, falling down into the floor. The feeling of relaxation flowing down through your knees to your lower legs and into your feet and toes. Now your body is relaxed. You've dropped down into a state of deep rest. And with each breath, breathe in softly and breathe out patiently. Let the quiet breaths nourish you with their softness and patience. Allow yourself to just be and to feel a sense of openness and spontaneousness. As you breathe, Be aware of your heart and open your heart to yourself. Gently bring love into your heart for yourself. Make room for yourself. Envelope yourself in loving kindness and compassion. Say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Picture someone in your life who has truly cared for you. Picture them close in your heart and carefully say to yourself, may they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. Allow this loving kindness to expand to everyone together today doing the yoga via Zoom. Fill yourself and say to yourself, may they be filled with love and loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. Now picture someone who you are acquainted with but don't know very well. Might be someone in a shop or someone that makes your coffee or someone that you pass by when you go for your walk that you encounter regularly, and say to yourself, may they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. Now picture yourself with someone that you find difficult to take. Any negative thoughts which come into your mind, allow to pass, observe but without judgment. Picture them again and recall your compassion and say to yourself, may they be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. Now allow your loving kindness to spread to include the entire city that we live in. Imagine it expanding through the whole state, through the whole country, through the whole world. Slowly envelope the whole world into your loving kindness. Slowly, gently, let your love spread to all beings everywhere. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May they be well. May they be peaceful and at ease. May they be happy. Allow yourself to just be and feel a sense of warmth, openness, and spaciousness. Taking a few more breaths and coming into a comfortable position on all fours. When you're ready, there's no rush. So from here, we're going to do some cat cows, some cows, opening up through our chest and our heart. And then exhaling, bringing your spine up towards the ceiling, looking through your feet, gazing down towards your toes. And then inhaling, lifting your chest and lifting your gaze. Feeling that curve on your spine as you let your breath initiate the movement. Going through a few more rounds. Just tuning into your breath and tuning into your space. And then coming into a comfortable seated position, you might be seated on your knees or you might be on your buttocks with your legs out in front, whatever's more comfortable for you. And we're going to stretch from side to side. So placing your left hand on the ground, bring your right hand over the top or vice versa, just flowing from side to side and feeling that nice stretch right down the side of your body, through your shoulders and through your arms. Breathing in as you come up and breathing out as you stretch to the side. Let's go one more on each side. And from here, we're going to do some child's pose and some upward dogs. So we'll start on all fours and we'll take our chest forward into an upward dog. And then exhale and bring ourselves back into child's pose, taking your knees nice and wide, bringing your buttocks down to your heels. And then inhaling, coming forward. Noticing that stretch right through the front of your body. That's it. Let's go another 4 rounds. Just feeling that heart opening as you go into your upward dog. And then nice stretch through your lower back and through your shoulders in your child's pose. Just letting your breath initiate the movement, going at your own pace. And we'll do one more round. And then coming back to all fours when you're finished. And from here, we're going to do a slightly bigger movement. So we're going to spread our fingers nice and wide, and we're going to lift up through our hips into a downward dog. This is our first downward dog for the day. Just feeling that stretch through the back of your legs as you paddle your heels down to the mat. And feeling the stretch through your shoulders. And from here, we're going to do an upward dog and then come back to a downward dog. So you can take your hands slightly forward and bring your chest forward, and you can bring your knees down to the mat, or you can keep your knees off the mat, and then exhale as you go back to your downward dog. So just nice big movement, nice big breath, breathing in as you lift up into your upward dog and breathing out as you come back to the downward dog. Let's go 2 more rounds. And then from here, coming back to all fours again. And we're going to lift alternate arm and leg. So we'll start with our left leg and right arm as we inhale, really spreading our left hand out nice and wide. And we're going to lift up through our right hand and our left leg, really stretching out, pointing your toes down towards the mat. And then exhale as you bring your knee and your elbow together into tiger curl. And then inhale, stretching out. Trying to keep your back nice and balanced. That's it. Let's go 2 more rounds. And then stretching out the leg and the arm. And from here, we're going to bend that left knee and bring the foot over to the right side. And then sweep our right hand back to hold on to the foot. And we're going to lift up through the chest and push through the foot into the hand, feeling a nice stretch through the front of the chest and also through the left thigh. Just taking a couple of breaths here and then let it go. And bringing your hand and knee back to the mat. And we'll take it to the other side. So this time we're lifting through the left hand and the right knee, opening up your right hand so you've got a nice firm grip on your mat. So we're going to inhale, lift left hand and right leg, pointing the toes down to the mat, and exhale as you bring your knee and elbow together into tiger curl. Really, as you inhale and stretch out, lengthening through the hand and the foot, squeezing through the buttock, and keeping your body nice and flat and balanced, nice and controlled. And we'll do one more, and then stretching out and bending that right knee this time, and take your left hand back to your foot. And we're going to lift up through the chest and pull the foot through your hand so you feel that stretch through the front of the leg. And then exhale and let it go back down to the mat. Now from here, we're going to try a new pose today that you haven't done before. It's called a dolphin pose. So it's a little bit more challenging. So we're going to go into a downward dog, so coming up into your downward dog. And then I want you to bring your hands so that your thumbs are touching. And then slowly bring your elbows down to the mat and bring your head down to the mat. So you've got a little bit more curve in your back, and relaxing through your shoulders, spreading your fingers out nice and wide. That's it, nice. So get a little bit more stretch through your shoulders on this one. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Feeling that nice curve through your back. And then bringing your knees down to the mat and coming back up onto all fours. Just give your body a little bit of movement. It's like you're wagging your tail, like a dog wagging its tail. And then from here, we're going to do our sun salutes. So we're starting to get a little bit of warmth generated in our body. So we're coming up to standing position and coming towards the front of your mat. Yeah, it's time to take the cardigans off now, Jenny. Okay, so we're going to inhale. We're going to do 4 rounds today. So you can go through at your own pace, or you can come with me. So you're coming towards the front of your mat. Just taking a couple of deep breaths just to normalize your breath again. And we're going to inhale and lift our arms, lift our chest and our gaze, stretching through the front of the body, exhaling, folding forward. Then inhale, lift and lengthen the spine, and then stepping back into your high plank, or you can bring your knees down to the mat into a low plank, slowly lowering your elbows down to the mat. Inhale, lift up through the chest into an upward dog, and then exhale, tucking your toes under and coming up into a downward dog. From here, take your gaze forward and step forward into a forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine, and then exhale, draw your chest into your legs, and then inhale, come all the way back up and bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. So it is a hot day today, so if you need to rest at any time, you can just go into Child's Pose or Savasana. And let's go into round 2. So we inhale, lift and lengthen. Take your arms up towards the ceiling, stretching, and then exhale as you bend forward. Bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. And then exhale, step back into your high plank. And then slowly lowering yourself down to the mat. Inhale into upward dog. And then exhale into downward dog. Taking your gaze forward and step forward into forward bend. Then inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine, lift your chest. And exhale, hugging your chest into your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back up and back to Anjali Mudra. Nice work. So just going at your own pace. Inhale, lift and lengthen. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, stepping back into high plank. Exhale, slowly lowering your body to the mat. Inhale, lengthen, lift up into an upward dog. And exhale, tucking your toes under into downward dog. Taking your gaze forward to your hands and step forward into forward bend. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine. Exhale, tucking your chest into your legs. And inhale, come all the way back up. Hands back to Anjali Mudra. Starting to get quite warm. Go one more round. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Stretching all the way up to the ceiling. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift your chest. And exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. Bending at your elbows and slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Inhale, lift up into up dog and tucking your toes under and taking your hips up towards the ceiling into downward dog. Take your gaze forward and step forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen your spine, really stretching through the back of your legs. And exhale, drawing your chest towards your legs. And then inhale, come all the way back to Anjali Mudra. Nice work. Just taking a couple of breaths here and we'll do some warrior poses. So we'll start with our warrior one. So we're going to turn our left foot out slightly and step forward with our right foot and inhale, lift our arms up towards the ceiling, bending our right knee, opening up through the chest. Just taking a couple of breaths here and noticing the stretch through the left hip flexor. And then taking the right hand forward, left hand back, keeping the bend in the knee. Really stretching through the front of the body, lengthening through both hands. Keeping the bend in the knee, we're going to take both hands back now, behind us, and take our chest forward towards that front knee and lift our hands up into humble warrior. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And noticing that stretch through the back of the body, through the glutes and through the thigh on the right side. And then bringing our hands down to the mat to frame our right foot. And we're going to lengthen out that right leg. Now from here, if you have a block, you can use it here. You can place the block next to your foot if you like. And from here, we're going to go into triangle pose and opening up through the chest, take our gaze up, taking that left hand up towards the ceiling. We'll take a couple of breaths here and noticing the stretch through the back of the right leg. One more breath here. And then bring the left hand down to the mat and right hand up to the ceiling and take your gaze with the right hand and stretching through the back of that right leg. And then bringing that right hand down. From here, we're going to bend our left knee and bring it down towards the mat. And this takes us into lizard pose. So from here, we're just going to move around, just move your body from side to side, just into lizard pose, opening up through our hip flexor on the left side and through our hip on the right side. And from here, tucking your left toe back under again, coming back up. And then bring your arms all the way back up into Anjali Mudra and come back up to standing position. Nice. Okay, let's go to the other side. So this time taking your right foot out slightly to the side and step forward with your left foot. We're going to inhale, we're going to lift our hands up towards the ceiling, opening up through our chest, bending that left knee so it's over the left ankle. From here, I'm not sure I understand. From here, taking a couple of breaths, looking up towards the ceiling. And then taking your left hand forward, right hand back into warrior two, lengthening through the hands, feeling that stretch across the front of your chest, and feeling through the left thigh, noticing the strength that you need on that to hold it all in position. From here, bringing your left hand back, clasping your hands behind your back, keep the left leg bent, and bring your body forward, bring your chest forward, bring your hands up towards the ceiling into humble warrior. And then from here, bringing your hands down towards the mat, framing that front foot and lengthening out through the front leg. And again, if you have your block, you can place it just on the inside of your foot, placing the left hand on the block or on the ground. And we're going to take the right hand up to the ceiling and take our gaze with the right hand, opening up into triangle pose. And taking a couple of breaths here, noticing the stretch through the back of the left leg. Taking one more breath here, really opening up through the chest, taking that hands up to the ceiling, and then bringing the hand back down to the mat. And we'll take it to the other side. So we're going to take the left hand up towards the ceiling, take our gaze with it into a reverse triangle. Taking a couple of breaths here and noticing the stretch through the back of the left leg. And then from here, bringing the left hand down to the mat and the right hand down to the mat, and step back a little bit with the right foot, bringing both hands on the inside of that leg, the left leg that's bent, and bringing your right knee down towards the mat into lizard pose. So from here, just moving your hips around in a circular direction, noticing the stretch and opening through the hips. And tucking your toe under, bring the right knee up off the mat. Inhale, bringing your hands back up to Anjali Mudra and then step forward. Nice. Okay, from here, we're going to go into a couple of little balancing poses. So we're going to come to the back of our mat and step forward with the right foot. Lift our hands up towards the ceiling and then bring the hands down to the mat, fingertips down to the mat, and bring your weight to the right foot and lifting your left foot up off the ground, opening through the right toes. And from here, when you feel ready, we're going to lift our hands up off the mat into an aeroplane. At any point, you can always drop your left toe back to the mat. So gazing just in front of the top of your mat, so taking a drishti point to help you with your balance. When you're ready, bringing your hands up off the mat and just going into your aeroplane, noticing all the little stabilizers working on your right leg. Taking a couple more breaths here. One more breath, and then slowly lowering the left toe down to the mat and bringing your hands back down to the mat. And we're going to inhale, lift, and come back up to Anjali Mudra and step back. Nice. So these are good to play with to help us with our balance. This time we're going to step forward with our left foot, bring our hands up towards the ceiling, and folding forward, bringing our fingertips down to the mat, opening up through the toes on the left foot. And when you're ready, you can start to lift the right toes up off the mat. So you come into a split position, and take your gaze forward just in front of the mat, getting comfortable there. And then when you're ready, bring your hands up off the mat, remembering you can take your right toe down at any time. Just playing with it. A couple more breaths here. You might notice that one side is a lot better than the other. 2 more breaths here. And then bring that right toe back down, hands back up to the ceiling and back to Anjali Mudra. Nice. Give that a little shake. And then from here, let's try another little pose. This one's called the dancer pose. We have done this before, but it's been a while. So we're going to, I'll show you the side position. So we're going to step forward and we're going to bring our left foot up and hold on to that. And then we're going to take our right hand forward into dancer. So you can always do this near a wall that you can hang on to if you want. So you're really lifting up through that. It's similar to the one that we did on the floor. That's it. Oops. That's the way. Yep, you can hold on to your shin if you can't quite get to the foot. Taking a couple more breaths and then releasing the foot and releasing the hand. Nice. And then let's go to the other side. So we're going to open up through the left foot and then lift the right foot up into your hand. Find yourself your gazing point, and then you're going to take your chest forward and take your left hand out in front, lifting through the chest and having your foot and your hand creating a stretch through the right side. A couple more breaths here. And then release. Well done, ladies. Nice that you all had a go at it. So that one's called the dancer pose. From here, we're going to come down to the mat. And we're going to come into a downward dog position. And from here, we're going to step forward with the right foot and bringing your left foot down to the mat. Now from here, we're going to do a similar thing to what we just did when we were up on our feet. We're going to, this time, take your right hand back, bending that left knee. See if you can grab hold of your left foot and stretching forward. This one's called a twisted dragon. So you've got sort of like a cross between a lizard pose and the dancer pose. And then releasing that one, bring your hand back to the mat, bring your knee back, and we'll take it up into downward dog again. And from here, we're going to step forward with the left foot. This time, bring the left foot on the outside of the left hand, and then bring the right knee down to the mat, bending the right knee, bring the foot up off the mat, and reaching back with your left hand to grab onto your right foot, and then stretching through, lifting up through the chest. You get quite a good stretch through the right thighs on this one, and then release. And bring your hand back to the ground and coming back into a all fours position. And from here, we're going to sit onto our bottom into Paschimottanasana. So from here, we're going to inhale, lift our hands up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, fold forward and bring your hands down and grabbing onto your toes or your ankles or your shins. We're going to take 5 breaths here, taking your gaze to your toes, and on each exhalation, allowing your body to surrender a little more into the forward bend. And then releasing, coming back up into seated position. And from here, we're going to take our left foot on the inside of our right leg, our left knee out to the side, And we're going to inhale, lift and lengthen, and then exhale, fold forward. So this one stretches a little bit more through the ITB and through the glutes, and a little bit on the hamstrings on the right leg. And again, taking your gaze to your toes, and you can be holding on to your toes or your ankle or your shins. Let's take 5 breaths here. And on each exhalation, allow your body to surrender a little more into the forward bend. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Just relaxing into the stretch. And then release. And bring your left leg forward and bring your right foot on the inside of your left leg, coming up onto your sit bones. So you've got a nice elongated spine. And we're going to inhale, lift up, and exhale, fold forward. Now from here you might notice that you've got a different range of movement. You might be a little tighter on one side than the other. So just hold on where you can. It might be toes, it might be shins or ankles. Taking 5 breaths here with your gaze point towards the toes on your left foot. And on each exhalation, just surrendering a little more into the stretch. And then release. From here, we're going to roll onto our back and hug our knees up into our chest. Allow your spine to just roll around in a circle, bringing the knees around, releasing any tension you might have in your lumbar spine. And then placing both feet on the ground with your knees bent, and bring your left foot up and bring the left leg across in front of the right, and then hugging that left knee towards your chest, and then releasing it out. Exhaling as you draw it towards your chest, and inhaling as you let it rest out again. Just go a couple more rounds, and then place your right foot on the ground and place your right hand on your left knee and your left hand straight out from your shoulder. Gazing towards your left hand, allow your right hand to draw the knee across to the right side, so you're in a nice twist, a nice deep twist. Taking a few breaths here, and again, allow yourself to relax a little more into the stretch on each exhalation. Nice stretch up through the left side of the body, twisting through the left, and a nice stretch through your ITB and your left glute. Then inhale, bring your knees back to center and swap your legs over. And then as you exhale, draw your right knee towards your chest, and as you inhale, draw it away from your chest. Just bringing it in and out. Getting a nice stretch through the right glute. And then placing the left foot on the ground, left hand on the right knee, right hand straight out from your shoulder, and using your left hand, draw that knee across to the left side, or you take your gaze to the right side. So you're in a nice deep twist right down the right side of your body. Taking some nice deep breaths here. Just 2 more breaths. And then inhale as you draw your knees back to center and bring both legs flat on the ground. And from here, we're going to go into a bridge. So bringing your heels nice and close to your buttocks. And we're going to inhale, we're going to lift our hips up as high as we can, bring them up towards the ceiling, and bring our hands over the top top of our head to the ground beyond our head. And then as you exhale, slowly lowering your body down to the mat and letting your arms swim back to your side and let your hips drop back. And then inhale, coming back up again. And exhale, letting your arms swim to the side, back to your sides. Let's go 3 more rounds. Just nice and relaxing, moving with your breath, really squeezing up through the buttocks. Slowly lowering the spine down vertebrae by vertebrae as you're exhaling. It's like you're doing backstroke. And let's go 1 more round. From here, we're going to come up into a seated position. And we're going to bring our chest forward and bring our arms forward. And we're going to take our feet up off the ground into a V-sit. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths, just working on our abdominal muscles. So chest up nice and tall. If you feel you need to, you can bring one heel down to the mat. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then let your body come down to the mat so you're on your back. And from here, we'll go to feet up the wall or feet up whatever's there, your bed or your chest, or you can take your body into a half shoulder stand. So coming into that position. So you've got an inversion happening here, just letting your ankles go into some nice little circles, give your legs a nice little shape so you're nice and light. So we're in our inversion, we're reversing our circulatory system and our lymphatic system, taking 10 breaths here. Just nice and slow. Softening your eyes and just enjoying the inversion. If you've got your legs up the wall or in a half shoulder stand, you might like to take them out wide. You might like to bring your feet together and knees out wide. And then taking the back up in the air. If you're in a shoulder stand, you might like to bring your feet over your head to the ground behind your head. And releasing your arms to the mat. And then slowly exhaling as you bring your body back down to the mat, bring your legs down and rolling onto your front. We're going to do a couple more poses. So having your facing down on the mat with your hands just under your shoulders. And from here, we're going to inhale, lift up through our chest. Just give the front of our body a nice stretch. And then exhale, allow your chest to come back down to the mat and tuck your hands in underneath your hips. And from here, we're going to inhale, we're going to lift our feet up off the mat into a locust pose, squeezing through our buttocks. Just holding it here for a couple of breaths. And then release the feet to the mat. And we're going to bring our hands out beside us, similar to an aeroplane. And we're going to inhale, lift up through our chest and lift our arms, squeezing through our shoulders. This one's a snake pose. And then releasing back to the mat. And from here, we're going to go into a half boat pose. So we're going to, first of all, bend both knees and just move your feet from side to side, just releasing any tension in your lower back. And then allow your left knee to bend and take your left hand back to your left foot. From here, we're going to lift and lengthen through the chest and through the thigh. Just for a couple of breaths. Notice any release you might get in your lower back, and then allow that to come back down to the ground and release. Then we're going to go to the other side. So bending the right knee, taking your right hand back to the right foot. Inhale as you lift up through the chest and pulling your foot through your hand. So you get a nice stretch through the right thigh and the front of your chest. And then release that down to the ground, still holding on to the foot, and then take the left hand back. So you've got both feet this time into a full boat pose. So we're going to inhale, lift up through the chest, pull through our feet. So we've got a really nice stretch through the front of our body. Just taking a couple of breaths here. And then release. From here, we'll take our hands down to the mat and come up into a downward dog. Just rinsing out through the back of our body and through our lower back, walking our heels down towards the mat. After doing those backward bends in the boat pose, it's nice to reverse it. And then take your knees down to the mat into all four. And we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Inhale as you raise your gaze and open up through the chest, and exhale as you bring your spine up towards the ceiling, taking your gaze through your knees to your feet. Doing a couple more rounds with your breath, just loosening off any tension you might have in your spine. And then when you're ready, relaxing into Savasana. So laying on your back, face up. You might like to place a bolster underneath your knees if you need any. Just release any tension in your lower back. If you have an eye pillow, you can grab that. If you feel that you need to contain the warmth, you can put a cardigan on or a blanket over the top. And we're just going to go into a 5-minute nice rest. So thinking about all the theme of our practice of loving kindness and opening up our heart through the practice. So enjoying the nice deep relaxation at the end of your yoga. We'll just do it silently today. Just tuning into your breath and deep relaxation. Notice the ground supporting you beneath you. Softening your eyes, enjoying your rest. Slowly bring your awareness back into the room, noticing your breath, noticing the ground below you supporting you in your yoga practice, noticing the sounds within your room and the sounds outside the room, and gently stretching your arms up above your head, stretching out your legs. And when you're ready, rolling to one side. So you can stay there if you wish, have a little bit more rest, or you can come to a comfortable seated position. And let's bring our practice to an end with an Om. So you can join me if you wish, but you don't have to. We're going to bring our hands to Anjali Mudra, taking a deep breath in, and then deep breath out, releasing all that you don't need. Another breath in. Om. Bring your hands to your forehead for kind thoughts and to your lips for kind words and to your heart for a kind heart. Thank you for being here today, supporting yourselves and each other in your beautiful yoga practice. Namaste.
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome, Elsa. How's
How are
everyone?
you?
Good.
I'm
How's
good.
everyone's feeling?
Very